Welcome to Hats and Helmets with your host, Brendan Wayne. Everything has a story. And I'm not talking about the one we watch on TV, I'm talking about how it got there. Well, I have a Hall of Famer in the UFC. I have a ref, officiant in the UFC. I have a stuntman, a stunt coordinator, a stunt fight coordinator. Somebody I know is Trigg. Somebody you guys might know as Twinkle Toes, although I don't know if I'd say that to his face. My buddy, absolute star, Frank Trigg, on the show today. Pulled this one off the shelf. For some of you, this has been in your bookshelf for a long time. I recommend you go have a reread like I did recently. This book was seismic for me because I generally would run up and read, spy novels and things like that, or go straight to nonfiction and learn about the world previous to me and that I live in. And this one is in a world that best put describes anybody in your life. At some point, even though we're talking about an amazing rock band that reaches incredible highs and incredibly talented people, the characters are all relatable. I've never read a book where I thought every single person here reminds me of somebody I know, and not in Hollywood, I mean in life, like the hard scrabble part of it, the great parts of it, the highs of true love, the lows of loneliness and solitude. And at the end of the day, the idea that together is always going to be better than apart. And this book is just brilliant. Written by the prolific writer, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Many books under her belt, but I'm telling you right now, this is the one that hooked me, and it made me read every other book she has. I cannot recommend it enough. It's a great journey. It's funny. It's sorrowful, but it's filled with hope and desire and all the things that we kind of want to journey on when we read a novel. She is an example of some of the greatest writing I've experienced in my over 5 decades of life. Get this book, enjoy it. Daisy Jones and the Six. There is nothing like it. And if you listen to it on audio, you might hear a familiar voice. Without further ado, let's meet the legend. Welcome everybody to Hats and Helmets. I'm with somebody we all know and love, the Hall of Famer, both wrestling, fighting, stunts, and acting. And he is a true performer. And my friend, I love him like literally like family. He's Uncle Frank to my kids, and one of the people I really admire, Frank Trigg.
Hold on, you have kids?
I love it.
Yeah. Hey, who's coming with you for Rebel Scum?
Oh, funny you say Rebel Scum. Boonta Eve, you, me,
Yeah.
a lot of drinks, a lot of people, a lot of fun. Celia will be
Oh, she's
my
coming.
boss.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
The boss. The
yes,
second boss.
yes. All right, so let's get into this, young man. Um, I know that you know your worth and your value, and it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with daily. And I know maybe you think even I struggle with it, but there's a certain level that I've always admired about you, whether it was from afar, I saw you fight 3 times, um, or whether it was, after I met you and became friends with you and so on. What I've found is you have this layer and foundation of, like we say, confidence. It sounds some, but it's not that. It's the idea is that you're still evolving, and it's amazing to be around somebody who's as accomplished as you, who is always learning. Because you think, oh, you get to these levels like you're at, and I know you're like, I'm not where I want to be, but I mean honestly, you get to the levels that you're at, and you think, oh, they must know it. But what was incredible and refreshing with you is that it wasn't about that. You're always your interest in others and everything has never stopped, and it's fascinating. So I wonder if we go back to the beginning. You're born in Rochester, New York, right? You got a lot of family members.
Yeah. So I was raised specifically with four other brothers, but there are two others that were already out of the house, kind of as I was being raised.
Yeah,
And then we had a stepbrother that was raised with us after a short period of time as well. So it's basically eight of us that were
yeah.
all boys, no sisters.
No sisters.
And middle child syndrome with
You're the middle
ADHD.
child?
Yeah, yeah, dead
No wonder
middle.
you and Simone. I forgot. That's right. You and
Yeah,
Simone. Sure.
that's why Simone and I get along so well because we have that same little. We're not coddled like the first child,
Yeah.
and we're not left our own devices like the last child. We were kind of left to do our own stuff, but then got yelled at all the time and kind of beat down because we knew what the older child was doing, and the parents aren't tired yet from raising kids. And when the end child children come, they're tired of raising kids. They kind of let them do whatever they want. But the last child always ends up kind of like there's a meme out there of like the first child kind of sips the beer, orders a beer, sips the beer, kind of looks at it a little bit, sips it again, kind of puts it down, takes her time with it. Then the youngest child is like sips the beer, is like, this doesn't have the right head on it. I'm not drinking this. It's chunky. And the middle child is like, oh, thanks for the beer. Gulp, 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 gulp. Can I have another one? And they're like, why is it? Because we're kind of left our own. But then there's somebody in the back going, no, you can't have any more. You got to not do that. Like, it's supposed to last you an hour. You're like, okay, in 59 minutes, I'll get another beer then. I don't, whatever it is. But that's kind of our mentality. Right. So for me, I was because of the 80s, the way that the system was working, I wasn't very smart because I couldn't learn the way that they were teaching. So I was in special ed classes for the majority of my junior high school and high school careers.
Yeah.
I'm a straight C student. I did just enough to be able to compete. If you said you had to keep a B minus, then I kept a B minus. If you told me you had to keep a D plus, I kept a D plus. I did just enough so I could still continue to compete.
Sure.
But I always knew there was a guy out there or a girl out there that was doing better than me at what I was doing. And I wanted to like kind of emulate that. I wanted to be better at what I was doing. And as I got through college and got through certain things throughout my life, I was like, well, no matter what I'm doing, there's always somebody better, especially in athletics, right?
Oh,
You might be the best in the world. You're the GOAT of your spot. But I'm telling you right now, if Tom Brady came back and tried to play football again, it wouldn't work. He would not be the best at it anymore.
no.
Age has happened, time off has happened, but also the sport has evolved.
Yep.
So the best guy still has to be chasing it, which is why you have the Bradys, the Jordans, the Lemieux, the Gretzky's. These guys chased it all the time, even though they were considered the greats
Yeah.
of the era. They're still trying to be better at what they're doing, and that's kind of what I followed to try to be better. So what I'm doing, there's always somebody better at what I'm doing. Now I'm in SAG, right, Screen Actors
Yeah.
Guild.
Yeah.
I know my value because I get the check. I know what the guild says. This is what you get for 8 hours. I know what the value is. I break that down. I know what I get paid per hour.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something. I figure that out. If this was a feature film, if this was the Odyssey, and you're asking me to fly to such and such place to do a certain job, I'm like, the value isn't there for me. Well,
Yeah.
why not? Well, because if I stay home and do the value on a SAG project, I have retirement, I have healthcare, I have residuals, I can meet more people, I can increase my network while I'm on set, I can figure out more producers because that's the game now. Because their idea is what makes the project we're on happen. You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is not going to work. There's no way this is going to work. Oh, it works. That producer dragged it through the mud, dragged it through,
Yeah. The
approval
great ones.
process, dragged it through all different colors of the script. They dragged it through. And so it's time to work. You're like needing producers is what really gets us to the next level of what we want to do. But
Sure.
also when you talk to somebody on set and they see you talking to a producer, that the guy, and for people at home that don't get it, the number one person on the call sheet isn't standoffish because they want to be standoffish. It's because they're number one, they do a lot of work, they get paid a lot of money to do the job. They're being inundated with questions all the time. They don't want some other random stunt guy asking, so what's it like to be an Indiana Jones? What was it like to be Han Solo? They don't want that guy going up to Harrison Ford and asking him questions, so they kind of keep him separated. But then
Yeah.
number one sees you talking to the EP on set. He's like, oh, he must know somebody. then they
Yeah.
want to talk. Then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
want to have a real conversation with you. And I was sort of like, okay, so here's the three guys on set today you need to meet, and two of them are actors, and one of them's an associate producer. You're like, all right, let me go talk to the associate producer. And you realize that guy has five other projects that he's EPing. Like, oh,
Yes.
it worked out. Okay,
Yes.
so that's the game. So I know my value because I'm looking at this space. I'm
Yeah.
looking
But
at it and go, how can I get myself?
to where you
So
want to be, the next step.
bare knuckle boxing, I ref this last weekend
Yeah.
in at the Nova in LA.
Oh, it was gnarly.
It was, I mean, cuts were everywhere. I had blood all over me. Like
Oh,
I made the mistake of wearing a short sleeve shirt. I should have worn a long sleeve shirt because I was covered in blood,
I
covered in
never
it.
even
That's what
thought
bare knuckle
about that,
boxing does.
especially in bare knuckle. But yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
So they go, do you miss fighting? I go, no, man. I'm in stunts, man. I get thrown through windows. I get shot at. I'm doing, especially on Line S, I got a bunch of military work I'm doing when I double two cups. And then on Landman, I'm up in the oil towers and there's fire going on around me. Like, I don't miss fighting at all. Like, I get so much more money doing stunt work and doing this stuff than getting punched in the face. They go, would you ever come back out of retirement? You know, even at this age, I go, 100% I would. But the number is so high, I'm not worth it.
Yeah.
And like, what do you mean? I go, there's a number I need for me to come back because I know my value and
Yeah.
I'm not worth that number to you because I have to sell the entire arena. I have to make double sales in beers. I have to sell twice as many nachos to
Yeah.
make it worth you paying me that number. So no one will ever give me that number. Like, oh, it's like, and then some guy came out with a number. I went, dude, you're not in the same neighborhood. Like, if
No.
you come at me with that number, we can't even have a conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I go, what's the highest pay you're paying this guy on the card today? That's not even enough for me to start entertaining the idea.
Yeah. I'm
Like
not
people
even
have called me to
starts.
come do bare knuckle boxing. I'm like, I have no interest because you can't pay me enough.
No.
I know my
Yeah.
value.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I have so many other things. I'd be calling you. I'd be like, Frank, no, no, no.
No, absolutely not. But get
Abs-
hit in the head for real?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm not coming
You
up.
want to
No.
get cut for real?
Yeah.
Go into makeup for a half hour, and they'll pay you to get that done. No one's paying
And the
you.
rare opportunities where you do actually get cut, it actually happens. We get hurt on set because we do stuff that's
Yeah.
physical, and something happens. There's a medic on set. They get you into the ambulance right away. They send you out. It's covered by your insurance. It's covered by the insurance of the
So,
project. Like there's
yes.
no weirdness that goes on with it. I'm not out like Tom Aspinall's been out for a year because he got poked in the eye by Cyril Gane. Like there's none of that. None of that
Yeah.
happens. It's all
And
taken
he's
care
had
of. It's
like
all
five
handled for you.
surgeries.
Yes. Yes. And so I'm like, I don't need this mess
No.
anymore. I'm doing so well over here. And really this is my passion, which is also why it's hard for me sometimes to ref, right? Because it's a Friday night. I got to miss a day of work to go do this. So it's like, is it going to work out for me? The Saturday night guys are great. Like I have the August 22nd UFC in Sacramento,
Oh yeah.
and then I have the August or the September 19th card in LA, also UFC. I'm working the two next UFCs in California because the pay-per-view cards, not the next UFCs because they have some fight nights and some other stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the fight night, the UFC, the pay-per-view cards, what not well now they're on, the big
Paramount.
cards because they're
Yeah.
on Paramount Plus. But I'm doing the big cards because I have value.
Yeah.
My worth is to be on those cards. And I'm like, yes, those are Saturday nights. I fly in at the job, I go back, and then I go back to where I got to fly to Sunday morning for the next job. And a lot of
Yeah.
times the
Yeah.
August card, I'll be back on Landman. Landman starts up again. I'll be back on Landman. So I'll be coming back to Dallas right after the fight's over.
So
So,
what we're saying is when you're young, like me, except for I wasn't on that level that you eventually got to, but it is that drive. People talk about sports not being in school today, like we don't include athletics. First of all, cut out the processed food in the world and get the
yeah,
kids back into some exercise. But what it was in a time when you were, no child. I mean, I was 80s like you, so you and I
I left
understand
behind.
a different level. We were also left to our own devices quite often, middle child or not. I was the last, so I was middle child who drank the beer fast. I don't know about the one who's like, this doesn't taste right. But the idea being that sports got me through school. I was never
Yeah.
going to. If somebody just said to me, "Hey, you can't play any sports, but you got to get good grades in school," my mom would have had to beat it out of me because I couldn't. I
For
just
what?
didn't have it
What's the
mentally.
point of having the good grades then? Why do you need good grades? For what
So I
reason?
so I could go to more school later. I was like, that sounds terrible.
Well, what also kind of hurt as we got older too is when Bush Jr. came into office and they were talking about him at Yale and being part of the Bones and Skulls and doing all this stuff, and all I heard was he's a straight C student.
Yep.
I'm like, he's president of the United States. He's a straight C student. Like, let's not mix it up here, man. You don't need to have A's and B's to be successful.
No,
You just
and
got to
that's
work hard and have the right ability to do the job. It doesn't matter what you got in school.
you got to have a desire to learn, and that's what
Yeah.
I kind of was alluding to in the beginning, which was, um, we're on Book of Boba Fett, and I used to bartend before I ever had a job that was steady, and
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people walk in and out of that bar in my life. I've met very famous people, Uncle Ronnie, those kind of things turn out to be a
Yep.
president. So I don't get over my skis too much about people, but you know, I met Gina, funny enough, when she was young, before I ended up working with her on Mando. But I met you. Luckily, I was not the other bartender that you remembered, so
Yeah,
that was
dude,
good.
he was
Um,
fine. He's just
he
awkward.
just wanted the shinier hands. Oh, it's Frankie. It's Frank Trigg.
We had a great
It's
martini
amazing.
though. You guys make great martinis over there.
And
It was
so
funny because we'd only moved from Hawaii to LA maybe 2 weeks before I met Brandon,
that's
and all of a sudden now
amazing.
and then years later we're starting to work together. I was like, wow, like we're talking about a full circle of being in the right space at the right time.
Oh, it was incredible. And I remember going in, looking at the call sheet that day, and I always check out the I know everyone thinks I'm a stuntman. I'm not a stuntman. I'm gonna say it every episode. But I love the stuntmen because there's not a lot of bullshit. Um,
Well, didn't you get that stuntman qualifier on Cowboys versus Aliens? Didn't somebody go, oh, he's a stunt guy? We put him on a horse. You're like,
but I that was it. That was the whole thing. I I just didn't want to do what the other actors were doing because I didn't find it to be very compelling, which was just a
right.
straight pull off a horse. And I did a ratchet with a gooch and I did a double backflip 70 feet in the air. But I was good on horses and I didn't care. You know what I mean? And I wanted to do something big and but John got it in his head.
Yeah.
Fabs was like
I'm like,
that's a
no, I'm an
stunt guy.
actor. I
I'm
did
like,
stunts
dude.
one time on one thing.
Like literally. And so I go and I always look because I love. I mean, honestly, the stories I love going to set beyond my love of acting in that moment of a minute where I get to act and then I get to watch everyone set up for an hour.
Yeah.
Um, my thing is I love the stories, and I'd grown up around my grandfather's stuntmen and his company, and hearing those stories, I thought, man, that's what it's about. So I look and I see, ooh, Gamorrean guards. So I'm looking at, and I'm like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Frank Trigg's gonna be here? I didn't
That
know he
was
was
a
doing this
great, man. I
stuff.
love being on that show. Of course, growing up with Star Wars, and my parents divorced in 80. So Empire Strikes Back became a real thing for me. I walked this movie theater 19 times by myself to go watch it because
To
back
go
then
watch.
a $5 Pepsi can or a Pepsi can because we're trying to learn recycling,
Oh
right?
yes,
Pepsi can, you go give it to them and they let you in. But back then it was $5 admission ticket. I buy
yeah,
popcorn or drink and I'd sit there. And I
that's
go, and then sometimes I stay through to watch the movie 3 times in a row.
that's
Like
amazing.
I had nothing
I,
else to do. It was like, and I was kind of like lost. Like dad's not in the house anymore. Mom's kind of trying to new guy, new stepdad doesn't like me very much.
yeah, it's a
You know,
transition.
so you got to remember too, and this is something that I just now started realizing about myself. The Civil Rights Act happened in 1964. I
Yeah,
was born in 1972.
yep.
So people forget being mixed in that era was not fun. But I
No,
didn't realize it. It was just who I was. I
it
was,
was
I was
it
a
was
mixed
your
kid.
context. You knew nothing else.
I didn't get it until like 6 weeks ago. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I was literally born at a time where I wasn't supposed to be a thing.
No,
Like I literally, if I was in the South, I probably would have been beat up my entire life. It's like I got beat up just a little bit. Because
yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Frank, that you'd gotten beat up a lot, but
oh no, no, I got as a kid, I got beat up a lot. So the other thing most people don't realize, Ryan Bennett, who ran MMA Weekly,
yeah,
got me into commentating because he saw something in me as a commentator on camera, which started my real on camera thing. Yes, doing sports, you're on camera, but
yeah,
you're not
but it's
talking to
different.
anybody. You're not trying to express yourself or have
No,
emotion for a scene or drop a teardrop or really be angry when you love the guy in front of you, but you really got to be pissed at him right now because the camera's on you. Like Ryan gave me that. He's like, yeah, you're going to be really good at this. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was raised with it. I was not very smart, short, special education classes,
School. Yeah.
and I have a very bad speech impediment, really bad. Like I didn't really speak until fourth grade because no one could really understand me. Like my friends could understand me because they're around me all the time, but no one could really understand what I was saying because I had a really bad, to the point where my brothers are like, no, you've made that up. You never had a bad speech impediment. You made that up. You guys remember me always never being home on Wednesdays as a kid? After school, you guys were out playing. I was never home. Like, do you remember that? They're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. What were you doing? I was in speech therapy. 3 hours every Wednesday. Like, this is this. I had a really bad speech impediment
So
to the
amazing.
point where, well, Jill now, for those who don't know, my wife Jill, she will, we should probably think about getting out of here. I'm like, okay, let's go. I've been drinking too much,
Oh,
and my tongue in my mouth feels like it swells and fills up my entire mouth.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm spitting everywhere, and when I'm talking, I'm spitting on you. It's because I can't control my muscles in my tongue don't work anymore. So now my speech impediment's back. So I'm
That
like, why
is,
do you guys keep asking me what I'm talking about?
you're
Oh,
like, I just said it 5 times, bro.
gotta go. Night, guys, gotta go.
That is hilarious. So, I mean, self-awareness is what I'm getting. So,
Yeah.
so I'm sitting there and I look over and I take a picture of a guy sitting on oh my God, Apple box, dressed in Gamorrean gear,
Yeah.
and
That was
and
fun.
so like when I see you in it, I'm like, dude, I've seen this man blister people, you
Yeah.
know, and he's playing a Gamorrean guard, which is awesome. And then, we get to talking, and I've
Yeah, it's
never,
weird how you gravitate to certain people on set, and it becomes a passing, like, hey, how you doing? Oh, where's that guy? Oh, let me go find Brandon right now. Let me go, hey man, what this? I saw you were doing yoga this morning, and you had a yoga mat
yep,
and you're
yep,
wagging when you're going in. Like, talk to me. Oh, I had stomach surgery and the thing, and I almost died. And like, oh wow, this is like a real thing. Let's talk. And now we're talking about working out. And then, oh
yes,
yeah, and then I'm at Fortune Boxing, and I'm boxing, and I'm hitting with Justin. I'm like, I know Justin. Okay, and all of a
yes.
sudden we got the same little circle that's supposed to be a million miles away from each
Yeah,
other. All of a sudden you
you're from
realize
Rochester. You're a wrestler. I'm a basketball player who took up boxing. Like,
it didn't make it shouldn't have worked.
no, no, there's nothing about it. Like, I grew up not mixed, but not only not mixed, but I was born under the icon of John Wayne, which is
Yeah,
definitely not mixed. And so
yeah.
it's like, and then, but you
Poor
know what I
John.
mean? Like,
He still
like,
gets it. Poor John.
yes, but sorry, Granddaddy, but it's just like this incredible thing, which was humanity.
Yeah.
You've never. I know a bunch of people in the business who are great talents, whatever, but for whatever reasons, protection of themselves, whatever reasons, their own,
Yeah.
uh, their humanity never presents itself.
Well, I learned from the loss of the only fight anyone ever wants to talk about. If anybody wants to talk to me about my fighting career, they're going to talk about the second Matt Hughes fight. It's the only fight they want to talk about. It's a fight I lost, but it puts me in the Hall of Fame. And you're like, once you realize they're not lying, you lost the fight, you almost won it. It's history. It's a
Yeah,
piece. It's a piece of MMA history.
yeah,
It's still one of Dana White's favorite-ish fights that's been around for a long time. I get it. Once you've realized that it doesn't really matter in the scheme of your entire life, you can kind of have more humanity, more empathy for people around you. Because what are they going to do? Are they going to make fun of you? Dude, I made fun of myself in front of millions and millions of fans. I got booed. I got booed out of the arena when I fought GSP. It doesn't matter. Like no one can really hurt me anymore because I don't really rely on. I love fans. I love them to death. Like when I go
yes.
on August 7th, when I'm at the
Grain of
cons, I'm
salt.
walking around. I love the fans. But the reality of it is, the fans can't hurt me. No matter what you say to me, no matter what you do to me, it might startle me because I'm in a place where I'm supposed to be signing autographs and love, and somebody says something cockeyed
Yeah,
or sideways to me or whatever.
yes.
I'm like, that wasn't called for. Because what are you going to do to me?
No.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, if I really, really need to, I can bounce your head off the table. Like
Yeah.
that. So what are you going to say to me that's going to make me do that? Like it doesn't bother me anymore.
Why
So I
would
can
I
be more
give you that?
authentic, right? I can be
What?
more myself because
Yeah.
no one's going to hurt my feelings. No one's going to really bother me. And whatever that, I just dismiss them and move on to the next guy. Like I don't really care.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot, right?
Yeah. I love those. That's crazy that somebody would even take
Oh, it
the
happens all
time
the
to
time.
take. That's so nuts to me.
It's
Like,
always the guy that knows who I am that sends his friend over to me that doesn't know who I am. And he realizes, oh, go mess with that guy. Go mess with that guy. Look, he's wearing slippers in a bar with painted toenails. And we're in a country bar. Go say something to him.
oh yeah,
Go
yeah,
stand on
yeah.
his feet and see what he does.
I
And
was gonna
you're
say,
like, dude, get off my feet. Like, stop stepping on my feet. Don't step on my feet. He steps
yeah.
on them again. Okay, I warned you once. Now I'm warning you again. The next time you step on my feet, I'm just going to chop you in the throat. Don't step on my feet again. He steps on your feet like bang, and he's like, oh. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Why'd you hit me? Hey, next step is I put you down.
Yeah.
Give me distance. Get away from me. Well, my friend said he thought it'd be funny. Like he thought he was just joking, whatever.
Tell
Go
your
tell
friend
your
to come here.
friend that he got you hurt because now I'm going to
Yes.
beat your friend up. Like go over and,
Yes.
and then his guy comes back and goes, dude, I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize you're a fighter. I didn't realize you're an actor. I didn't know you were doing these things. Man, I'm like, no, I'll buy you a beer. Don't worry about it. I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, we're
It's like, oh,
okay.
fine. Like, sure, get him a beer, please. On me, I got it. And then everything's done.
It's
It's like it's that
amazing.
easy, but it's always the guy that knows that doesn't want to do it himself because he's a bit of a,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
bit of a diamond.
Sure.
So send the other guy over to see what he does. Like, come on, man, you're the weasel that made this happen. So
Absolutely. That makes me laugh. So I can't even imagine the idea of, and maybe, not maybe, it's because I've been around actual professionals. And
yeah,
then, it's like, it would be like me walking up to another actor and being like, your performance sucked and da 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 da. Da. And it's like, who does that? Like,
it's like, can you imagine walking up to Matt Damon because obviously the Odyssey is out and we're
yes,
it's
yes,
like
yeah, yeah,
big
yeah.
deal and it's sci-fi and everyone's being it up because it's so woke, but you obviously haven't seen the movie. If you watch the movie, you anyway.
It's the
There,
Odyssey.
it's the Odyssey, man. You've had 3,000 years to get over this thing. Like, what? You understand that
Yes.
half the characters are made up, right? You get it?
Yeah.
Like, you understand this is not a real anyway.
Time and
So
place. Let's talk. Well, never mind. We can go
yeah,
deep on
it's
that
just
one.
people are
Like,
dumb.
hey, what do you what when if you were going to paint the pictures of the Odyssey and you had to paint the actual people of the time period,
We're
how
talking about
often are
a
you
time.
using the color white?
Not one time. Not
Exactly.
one peach. Not one peach. Not one orange. Not one sunburnt person. Not one.
It's
In that area of life. And then my favorite thing is, and this is going to get you a lot of problems. But my favorite thing in life is when those people talk about the Odyssey,
yeah.
and then they go to church on Sunday and worship the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. I'm like, you understand? He's from the Middle East.
Yeah,
You
he's
understand that,
yeah.
right? Like he's not he. Anyway, so
It's
can you
true
imagine
though.
going up to Matt Damon and being like shrinking that the movie where you could shrink yourself and live in a bottle and all that and make and you're like, can you imagine going up there and saying how bad your acting was in that and that movie sucked and that movie was horrible? You're like, that's Matt Damon. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'll
Yeah,
punch you for that. Like, why would you do that?
exactly.
Why would you do
It
it to that
does
guy? Like,
it
and he arguably he says it wasn't one of his best. It didn't cue right at the film festivals. It was kind of getting beat up, and now it's on streaming, and everyone it's a
everyone
it's got
watches
life.
it. But but this my thing is say it by not going to see it, whatever. You want your 20 bucks back, I'll give it to you. But don't waste my time with things that you can't compete with. Like if you're not on my level, don't talk to me as if you could give me pointers.
So very very much. I'm a firm believer, and I wish more people would do this when they're getting as a whole, like everyone in America. Like I believe that everyone in
We would
America
be better.
should do this when someone comes at you sideways. I call it coming sideways because they never want to approach you from the front.
No.
They always want to come into your ear. They're always trying to get to your ear, but they don't want to be in your range where you're going to slap them.
Yep.
Right? So they always come at you sideways.
Eat.
Oh, oh. So what feature films have you started?
Oh,
What have you led? When have you been number one on the call sheet or give you top five? When have you been top five on the call sheet? Oh, you understand the process. Well, I work in the industry too, so I know. Oh, what do you do in the industry? Well, I'm a brother grip. I'm a grip. Okay, so you must be a low level grip. You're not a key grip because if you're a key grip, you'd get what goes on and how hard it is to do stuff. Like you
yes.
understand that I could have poured myself into this. I could have given you the Rock,
Yeah.
the Wayne Johnson with the Smashing Machine. He poured himself into
Oh,
that role. He gave everything he had. He wanted to make Mark Kerr understand that he loved this passionately. He put himself
yeah.
into it, and it bombed.
Yeah.
It absolutely bombed. He did the best job he could possibly do. The Rock gave himself to that role, and you're like, you suck. The hell, man? Like, I give everything I had to this. What do you mean I suck?
Yeah.
Fast and Furious is way better.
Oh my
No,
God.
man, that's
That
not an acting role. That's me being an action star. This was an acting role. I was
yeah.
giving you my acting chops. I gave you everything I had. The editing was messed up. The lighting was screwed up. The coloring was messed up. The sound was screwed up. departments that don't work. I'm not saying they work. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
everybody
no, yeah,
don't
yeah.
watch them. I'm not saying
No,
those
but
are
like,
messed up.
there's components.
There's stuff that goes on, man, that we have no control of, and it's so infuriating for somebody to come at you sideways and be like, "You suck in that." I hope you fall off a cliff. I hope you fall off a cliff for real. Like,
People get so mad. I
dude,
do find it.
how many shows have you run? How many shows have you been on? Oh, you're in the industry too?
Yeah.
Tell me what you have done. If Tim Morrison comes to me or John Favreau comes to me and says, "Hey, man, you didn't really do a really good job. Could you work on this?" And they're gonna come at you like a dick and say that you
No,
should have
they
fallen off a
won't.
cliff. They'd be like, "Hey, next time? I would really appreciate you if you could next time you're in this kind of situation, give me this feeling, give me this look." And then I go to my acting coach and go, "Hey, I got a note from John Favreau. Next time, can I fix this?" And we fix it, right?
Yeah.
We work on it. But if you're just like, "You sucked in that thing. Do you have any notes for me? How I
Yeah.
could have made it better?"
I'll always
No, it just
learn. If you can teach,
okay.
I'll always learn. But if you're just giving opinion, it's like that thing behind
What
me.
is Yeah. Yeah, I got to move on to something else, man, because
Yeah.
I gotta be taught. You can't
Yeah.
just yell at me and tell me I'm bad at something. Make me better at it,
Which
right?
is again, now we're talking exactly the thing that made me go, not only was Frank for me worth every penny I ever paid to watch. I don't care. I mean, I watched you
God.
live 3 times, and I back in the day, kids who don't know, there's a thing called pay-per-views, and I used to pay to see you. I'd see you fight. I loved it. Like I loved the sport. I loved I still have on VHS UFC one. That's how much I love this. Like I never walked away and thought I didn't get my money's worth. Then I meet you on set, and as somebody who's pretty high up on the call sheet, I definitely do want, especially at that point. Now I'm used to being there. I'm used to wanting to make sure everybody's good and doing
Yep.
well, but at the same time giving me and the show everything they can because we all have something riding on it. I don't want somebody who's just coming in because they got a day job and they're moving on. And I'm happy to say that that stair fall alone is one of the greatest, most for me. I go, well, how's Frank ever going to top the fights I watched? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I watch the science of what you're doing, and getting hit right off here instead of eating one here,
Yeah.
or how you take one to get a double leg or a single and drop somebody, and then to see you do the levels again in a whole new profession. Does it sometimes lend itself that you were an incredible D1 OU wrestler, uh, professional, pride,
Yep.
shoot, right? You did shoot, and then
Yep.
UFC as well, and then there were so many other little ones,
Yeah,
right?
so I was in that era when it was before the UFC. When I first started the UFC,
Yeah,
they had 8 fights a year.
I
Eight
ain't
fights a
kidding.
year. They have 5 fights a month now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay.
So there wasn't like you were signed with this guy and you worked all the time. Like you had to hustle. You had to like so a lot of fans I get that are old school fans like, man, I hated you when you fought. You talk so much trash. I'm like, yeah, I invented trash talking. That's what I did for MMA. I invented the way to trash talk with respect. Not
Yeah.
not the let's get on your mom, let's get on
Yes.
your wife, let's talk about your kids. I wouldn't even go to the coach. I would only talk about the fighter
Yeah.
until the other side would go, oh, your coach and your thing and your training partners. I'm like, okay, now let's open it up to the camp. But I would never talk about family. Family's not in this.
No,
Then of course Chael Sonnen moved it up one level, right?
that's
He made
right.
it better, and everyone tried to follow the Chael Sonnen vibe for a little bit, and then he went to the Conor McGregor vibe, and now it's off the rails. But so a lot of the fans for me are like, I hated you when you fought because you were such a heel. I was like, well, I read Muhammad Ali's biography because every summer I got in trouble, wasn't allowed to watch TV. I was always the bad kid, so I had to read the entire time. So I read his autobiography, and he was like, he learned from a pro wrestler that you can't be a babyface the entire time if you want to sell tickets. You've got to be a heel. Hughes was the guy at the weight class that we had a battle. He was a face, so I got to be the
Yeah.
heel. That's just how it worked. I made stuff up on the fly. The whole I have a better family than him. I have better brothers than him. I'm gonna go drink a beer after I beat him up and go have a good time. I pulled that out of my ass when I'm sitting there doing that interview. And to be honest with you, I forgot I had said it till they aired it before the fight started. I was like, oh yeah, I did say that. That's right. I went
Like I
about my day.
said that
Yeah.
all at what? Oh, okay.
Made up.
That's
It's totally
funny.
made up.
Now
A
wait,
total
he
grift.
wasn't your first fight, was he?
Hughes was my first fight. I fought for a title my very first fight when I got in the UFC at UFC 52.
Oh my God, I'm
I'm
sitting
one of
in
the few
that
guys that
fight.
walked in and had a title fight right away. Yeah.
But that's because, look, that's because you were that good.
Well,
Like
no,
that.
and he also, let's admittedly, he already also had it cleaned out the weight class. There's nobody left that the UFC had under contract that he could beat again. He already beat everybody
Oh
up
yeah,
once.
yeah, yeah.
And everybody else
Nobody
had to get
cares.
beat up again. So it was like, we got to figure out what we're going to do. So to do it, we got to bring somebody new in. Let's have him talk about him, whoever he fought before me, and then that'll be the next
Yeah.
fight. Yeah.
And you were coming from Pride on that one, weren't you? Or no?
No, I was in
Kingdom? No.
WWFA with John Lewis.
That's right. That's right.
I was fighting that. I was a two-time champ there. I had beat Holman in the finals of
That's
that tournament, and that was the
right.
first time that I fought Dennis, and I fought him again in the UFC after I lost to Matt. That was the next fight because Dennis Holm. So it was like weird. Holman beat Matt twice. Matt beat me twice, and I beat Holman twice. So it was like A beats B, B beats C, and C beats A. It was like a weird,
Which I would say styles
yeah,
make fights,
100%,
right? I
100%.
mean, there's just some guys, that are just going to give you trouble, and it's not because of anything
Yeah.
other than their style. They're coached well and they stay disciplined.
Yes, they stay within the game plan, even when they're rocked. They're still within that game plan.
Yeah. God, what a crazy thing. So we hang out on Boba Fett.
Yep.
You're this kid come from Rochester. My parents, by the way, split up in 80 as well. I forget how, like, although we have a totally different upbringing, uh
Mhm.
how our life is so structured on the same timeline almost. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then you know, we both use sport to lift ourselves above what we otherwise were. I mean, we might have found it somewhere else, but what we did was sport helped us
Yeah, for sure.
find.
I'm surprised you though didn't use because you had inroads into the entertainment industry already at that age. Like I'm surprised that, especially from your mom, there wasn't a we should kind of try to see if you could be a child actor at this point, or try to see if we can put you into something at that point and starting your career, as opposed to shoving you into sports
Here's what
because of just
she
the genre and the life and where you were living and what was going on. Like
No, yeah,
you
and all
had
the
access to
opportunity
all
that
that.
it could have done. Here's why she didn't. She loved me, and she wanted no part of this business for a kid because she knew at the end of the day, there's only so much protection you can give, no matter what, in this business. And
Yep.
kids are the. It's just not a place, and she didn't trust the business at all. And plus, she's like, please be a lawyer or a doctor. And I was like, dude, unless I'm playing one on TV eventually, there's zero chance. Zero. I'm not.
LSATs. What are you talking about? LSATs. No, not for me.
And
Not for me.
the best thing was my first gig that I ever got paid for was on Angel, and I played a genius doctor who stopped time.
See?
So
Perfect. There you
I
go,
was like,
mom.
Mom, I finally am a doctor.
I can see your mom going, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I do not want my son going through that mess.
Yeah, I didn't even hit it till I was 26 when she was like, you gotta do something. I'm like, I'm a pretty good bartender. She's like, get the
No, no, ladies and gentlemen, I will say this equivocally, without a doubt. He is a great bartender, and if he wanted to open up a bar, he's like, I'm done acting. I want to move. I want a bar. I want to dump this. I want to dump this. I want to get into a bar scene. I'm gonna serve. We call them poo-poos because Hawaii, but
yeah,
it's
small plates.
appetizers or
Yep,
small plate kind of stuff. Or
yep.
what do the rich people call them? Canapes. I'm gonna have
Oh
canapes.
yeah, tapas.
Like that's what we're doing at this bar. I would invest in it in a minute because I know
Yep.
the drinks can be poured right. They're not gonna be over poured. I'm not
No.
saying over pour. We're gonna lose money in the alcohol, but they're gonna be poured right, and they're gonna feel strong, and they're gonna taste the way they're supposed to taste.
Yeah.
He's a great bartender. Great bartender.
Yes.
But I
See?
also can see your mom going, I want you to be a lawyer. You're running a
Yeah.
bar now?
And then I said I want to be an actor, and I know she said, okay, you're gonna do it. Then you're going to learn. And I was like, I'm just gonna be me. She's like, your grandfather wasn't him.
No.
And then she was like, think about it. She really broke it down. I was like, oh yeah, he was goofy to me. Like I didn't know he was this
Yeah.
taciturn, stoic guy. And then all of a sudden I go, oh, she goes, you learn. So I learned how to dance and sing and fence and
You have
got some
to.
acting going. And then I met my wife, thank God, and she just took me further with it. So,
Yeah, thank God you met your wife because it helped me
oh,
out too.
dude, I never, well, and I never would have got here without her. I mean, talk about the best thing that
Yeah.
ever occurred
It's
was
impossible,
her
right?
lowering
Without
her
help, without a
standards.
team,
Yeah, yes, yeah, and
right?
it's the best team ever. I mean, I'm run by my oldest daughter who's producing this, Celia, the
Yeah.
producer C. Uh, she's the one who she knows I wanted to do this. Talk about stories, talk about, how do we get there? How do you get to that set at Boba Fett? And she's like, you got to do it. That you have these guys. She sat and listened to us finish a bottle of scotch, and you
Yeah.
know,
As I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm like, one of my best interactions on Book of Boba Fett was Chef had come out on Netflix with Favreau,
yeah,
right? Where Scarlett Johansson's his current love affair and Sofia Vergara is his ex-wife. But he also has his documentary type show with his famous friends of drinking of cooking in their kitchens and doing things. And I had watched the pasta water thing from the night before, and I was just starting to make stuff at home more because I was on Book of Boba Fett all the time. We didn't have time to go out. My wife and I in LA, because LA has a lot of restaurants, for those who don't live there, that there's a restaurant every 5 feet. So there's
yes,
no real purpose to cook because there's a great restaurant right there. Let's go there. And I was like, I've got to get some. I was starting to get very heavy.
yeah,
I was getting wrestler heavy, where like every ex wrestler is been in a diet for 12 years is now like I'm not dieting ever again. I'm gonna eat whatever I want when I want because I can lose
yes,
the weight. And I started getting big. And so my wife was like, we got to start eating at home a little bit. So I started making pasta sauce at home. I talked to him in passing between the two. For those who don't understand, there's two doors to a stage. The
yeah,
first door, you wait for it to close, and then you get into the actual stage door. It's like a quiet door. And if the red light's on, you don't come in. Red light's on. I'm waiting to go into the one. Favreau walks out. Oh no, he was standing there. He was standing there. And I was like, "Hey man, I watched the documentary last night. I'm watching it. I watch a chef. Great job. Really love it. But I want to thank you for the pasta water. It has completely changed how I cook now. Like you have opened up my entire idea of how I cook food, all foods,
yeah,
not just pasta, but all foods." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, great!" And I'm in my suit, there's no helmet on, so it's
yeah,
my face, my little green eyes, and I'm in my full Gamorrean Guard suit, no gloves, but because to keep me cool.
yeah,
And I'm walking in, and I'm being called to set.
oh yeah,
I walk in and he stops. He followed me. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I have to go. They're calling me and I got to go." Okay. And he continues to talk to me about how I should make pasta water and the right temperature to cook. It's not quite boiling. How much of the pasta water you should keep separate from it. Like that, there's a whole thing. Like you have a half a cup for your sauce, but then you keep a half a cup to the side just in case you need it for later. Like
yeah.
this whole thing. He stops filming for 45 minutes to talk to me about pasta water. Just
Thanks,
stops. I'm
thanks.
like,
I really
I'm
appreciate
I'm
that.
sweating. There's fans on. I'm
Yeah,
sweating because I'm like, everyone's looking at me like I'm talking to the boss. We got to go. We got to go. And then finally I realized I'm talking to John.
yeah, yeah.
Nothing's going to happen until he walks away. I'm
And
good. I'll be
yeah,
okay.
and I'm getting some really good pointers. And there we go. Like when people talk about like, what's it like to be on the set, with the John Favreau. He's this big deal. He's very human.
He's a
Yeah,
genius.
like
He's an
that.
effing genius when it
Yeah.
comes to
Yeah, it is phenomenal. That's why, you people go, "Oh, how do you guys work?" Latif and you, how do you do this? And it's because John knows how to choreograph it because he knows how it's gonna go.
and stuff isn't shot in order. So
Never.
we're like, hey, by the way, guys, this is before you've already committed fealty to Boba Fett. You
Yes.
guys aren't sure yet. You're still shaky. You're not fully into Boba Fett yet. So you're being really aggressive. Like you're being his security guard. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Today, no, sorry, that was this morning. This afternoon, we're going backwards. You're not that guy anymore. So back off a little bit.
Yeah.
We just John, like, you caught that little bit, that little sneaky thing. He's like, yeah, that makes a difference. Okay, let me back
Okay.
off, sit up a little bit more. I don't know, like, do your own thing. And I was like, and you can see it in the episode that I'd have backed off, but I know the angle, I know the order of shooting that I'd shot what's going to happen later in the episode where I'm like, I'm completely committed and I'm
Yeah.
fighting. I'm trying to fight. Like, I'm not that guy yet. Like,
Yeah.
wow. Like, he
You
really
haven't
gets, he
committed.
gets, he understands it.
Yeah. No, he's so good at that, and it's that now. So we go from fighting to stunts. In stunts, you're obviously the first thing that you get booked for has to be like you're fighting somebody, right?
Nope, down a flight of stairs.
That was your first.
Yeah, Hawaii Five-O, season 4, episode 5, I believe, the museum robbery. I get bumped down a flight of stairs, and it was supposed to be a tumble, and then he changed it to a bump and run. Like I get hit and I stumble. Like it was supposed to be like Jeff Kenny after the stunt coordinator was like, "Did anybody want to do a stair fall?" I'm like, "I'll do a stair fall." They're like, "What, really do a stair fall?" I'm like, "I used to get thrown out of stairs by my brothers all the time. It's not a big
Yes.
deal." I go, "Look," and these are marble uh,
Yes.
rounded. They're not sharp edge. They're rounded stairs. I'm like, I'll go down these easy, no problem. So I go down them. He's like, okay, great, you got it. I'm like, okay, no pads on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I just went down the stairs. He's like, okay, great. And he gets changed, whatever. And then that's my first gig I ever get. My second gig is hitting Oakley Lehman, who was Paul Walker's stunt double. They went to
Yeah.
high school together, and Oakley looks exactly like Paul. You still look at Oakley, he still looks like Paul. Oakley went on and stunt coordinated Mayans. He's stunt coordinating Prison Break, the new Prison Break that they're filming in LA right now.
Yeah.
He's doing that right now with Chad Guerrero as the co-stunt coordinators. I had to hit him in the head with a baseball bat. That was my very second stunt was on NCSLA. And I hit it, and I'm thinking, oh, real baseball bat? Like this is I'm like, no, man, it's a foam baseball bat with aluminum in it. And they were like, we can only do 2 takes. I was like, why? I go, because if you start hitting with this thing, it's gonna bend. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like baseball bats don't bend or what? He's like, and they gave me the bat. I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay, I can't hit him that hard. They got 1 take out of it because I bent it on him. And I bent it up on him. Like, oh, 1 take. Okay, moving on. But
it's
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
And then my third job was on Houdini for Mary Albee. I was playing, gosh darn it, I should know this because I love Houdini history. The guy that punched Houdini and ruptured
Yes.
his liver.
Yeah.
That was the scene. That was my hands hitting the guy. And that was my third. So I didn't do any fighting for real, like real fighting as we would think until I was on Houdini for my third job.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
And then we
wow,
moved to Hawaii.
that's amazing. And then you do um whatchamacallit, Stairfall for Boba, which was gnarly with
Yeah.
Black chrysanthemum. I don't know what it's not.
Yeah.
He's not named after a flower. All the Star Wars fans are going to kill me for not being able to say his name, but
He's
uh,
a mountain. He's a mountain Chewbacca.
yeah,
Not Chewbacca. He's a mountain Wookiee. So whatever that is, black something or other.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that I mean that was amazing to because I was watching it on the monitor when you guys did that. I was on the other set, and I was like, bro. And then
yeah,
they were like, we're doing it again and again and again. I was like, come on, you guys don't.
yeah.
You
It
guys
was
get as many
it was a
cameras
rough
as you
one
need. That was
because
rough.
it's spiral. It's in
Yes.
Jabba's so it's spiral staircase. We gotta get all the way down it, and I got a big ass 250-pound man hitting me,
Yeah, and you're
kicking
in
me
a
down the
big.
stairs.
It's not like it's you. It's you're in a big suit as well going down. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
falling, just like.
Corey,
And then JJ Dashner, the stunt coordinator, was like, "Hey, hit like the 4 step or 5th step and see what happens." And the next take, they're like, "Can you guys go further?" And then all of a sudden, we're just going backwards. And he's telling Craig Johnson, who's in the suit, the stunt guy that's in the suit doing a thing. He's like, "Craig, take him down as far as you can before we hit the steps." We hit the
that was
wall before we hit
amazing.
the steps. We were
Bang,
flying. I was
and
like,
then went down.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then slid down and fought and we're battling in the air and trying to fight as we're falling the whole bit. And then we get done with like the 5 takes or 6 takes. We take the helmet off, and I'm already black and blue. My nose
oh,
is already blackened out. My start dripping down to my cheeks. My eyes are red bloodshot from the mask shifting and hitting. Like it was. I was
brutal.
like, God, this sucks. It was
Yeah,
horrible. It
but
was
it's one of
horrible.
the coolest. I love that. I love that scene. So bravo. Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
then you go and you keep working, man. You've keep raising your levels. You stunt coordinated uh, a couple
Yeah.
projects, right?
Yeah,
I
a
know
few
one
a
for
few
sure.
smaller, got a few commercials,
Yes.
got a few music videos for Alice the Goon. I'm lucky now with Wade Allen, who I've worked for on Barry. I've worked for on what's the Bill Harry? That was Barry, and then Perry Mason, the new Perry Mason, the
Oh
remake
yeah.
of Perry Mason. I worked for him on that, and he saw me. He gave me small opportunities to coordinate things to see how we do. Then
Yeah.
on Horizon Part Two with Kevin Costner,
Yeah.
which has not been out yet because Horizon Part One didn't
Yeah.
queue
Get the
very well,
audience they
so they haven't
wanted.
really
Yeah.
got Part Two out. And even though it's in the can and ready to go, it's just no one will let it go out. So I fight coordinated a big scene in that, and then I all of a sudden I get on Landman, and I'm fight coordinating scenes, and then I'm fight coordinating scenes on Lioness, and then I'm like all of a sudden I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh wow, I'm getting other like people from New York and people from LA are calling me now like, yeah, so you fight coordinated this, can you
You're
fight
the
coordinate
one.
this thing? I'm like, sure I can, but here's what are the dates?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't, I'm on Landman. I can't, I'm on Lioness. So I missed some opportunities because I am still
Yeah.
working for Wade, and I'm like, but they're not really missed opportunities
No.
because every season now, if the opportunity arises and there's a fight to be filmed, I'm getting the fight coordinating job on and with the credit, not just doing it. Some stunt
Yes.
coordinator,
Yeah. That's the
Some
key.
stunt creators are like, I want you to do this, you're not getting the credit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing it then.
Yeah.
Without the credit, what's the point of me doing it? To make you look good?
Yeah.
I can't do that. But
You
Wade
come in.
Allen is not, I don't need you to make me look good. I've already won Emmys without you. I don't
Yeah.
need you to make me look good. I'm already good.
I want to do less. I want to delegate.
Let's have you handle this so I can be home on that night shoot.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
everyone now on set trusts you. They know who you are. They know that you can do this.
I'm very stoked that I get to say this. We got the individual Emmy now for stunt action,
Finally.
not just coordinating, and now we have an Academy Award finally coming. And
Yeah.
I say this not because some of my best friends are stuntmen, but because some of the best stories told required stuntmen to be there and make the story propelled by the action they created within the story that the director needed. And that is something that, too many actors take credit for.
Yeah. And
You
that
know,
kind of there's a few out there. I do all my own stunts, do my own stunt. Shut up. You do that. Got it. Stop it. Because insurance won't cover you. Let's just start with that. The insurance won't cover it.
my
Right? The
grandfather
insurance will
didn't.
not cover it.
You do stunt fighting, you do stunts, you
Yep.
do coordinating, uh, fight coordinator, you ref
Yep.
fights, which is something that's got to be passion, not
Yeah,
pay.
there's no money in it.
No,
Don't fake
but
the funk, guys. There's no money in it.
no,
Yeah.
which I do want to be like when you guys complain about a decision or something, other than like I literally want to be like pay him more. Well, brother, thank you so much.
Of course.
This
Yeah.
is, it's I never cease to learn from you, brother, and I appreciate that, and
Well,
I love it.
isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? Are we supposed to be learning from everybody? Everybody that's around us, everything that we do, are we supposed to take a little piece? Right?
Yeah,
If you get one little piece, like every day, try to learn something new. Like every day, try to figure something else out that's different. Right? Whether it's about yourself, about something else, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I learned something new. It could be, you know, it can be political. It can be spiritual. It can be financial. It can be whatever. Like pick something every day and be like, I'm gonna learn something new today, whatever the hell it is.
that was Carl Weathers used to say it to me all the time, especially on set. If I'd get frustrated, he'd come over and it's on his, God rest his soul. It's on a card I got at his funeral, and it says, "What will I learn today?"
Yeah.
And that's the way he rolled. He was great. God, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.